Fog Entertainment back again with another par review. We're looking at episode 2 of season 4, and we have got Things Are Going to Get Worse. Of course, Ghost is still in jail. He's beginning to grow a wee bit of stubble. It would kind of suggest a time skip. He is a wee bit battered and bruised. I mean, I wouldn't say there's much of a time skip here. I would say like maybe a week or two. I mean, at most, to be honest. You've got Tasha telling the kids that they're not getting out, and then Tariq asks, "How did he get the name Ghost?" And then Tasha just walks away very suspiciously and is like, "Oh, you know, everybody in the hood had a nickname." It's like, is he just going to accept that? Well, he does. He kind of does accept that. Then Keisha turns up at Tommy's place, like demanding, like, "Here, I want your name off of the shop. I want your and Tasha's name off of the shop." Tommy here is woken up here, looked a bit like a tool. They actually did quite a good job making him look like he just woke up. But then she kind of storms off, and I was like, it's weird that she would confront him like this at his house and be worried, and then seemed out of character for me. But it makes a bit more sense a bit later on in the episode. Then Proctor, he sits down with St. Patrick, and they're discussing things here. And things just aren't exactly looking spectacular for him. He says that maybe he should admit to the relationship with Angela, but then Proctor's like, that's going to make it look like you had motive because you were in a three-way love triangle with Angela and Greg. But then we've got the counterparts of Mac and the FBI with like Sachs and shit discussing this as well. And then you've got like them both pretending that James is on the stand. And then Angela's on the stand, and it ends with Ghost turning around and saying, "I would never kill a member of law enforcement." And then Proctor's like, "But why would you distinct law enforcement? Surely you wouldn't kill anyone." It's like, if you said that, they would have your guts to garters, buddy. You'd be fucked. And of course he'd be fucked. Imagine saying on the stand, "I would never kill a member of law enforcement." That is pretty much, but I would kill anybody else that wouldn't be in law enforcement. So yeah, Ghost is on the ropes here. He's not exactly doing good in the slightest. It looks like he's going to be absolutely in the mud. But now we're beginning to see that the Puerto Ricans here are not really sticking to Tommy's plan, and it looks like they are going to find a new connect, so to speak. And Tommy hears about this, and then he sends Julio to deal with it. Now, is this going to happen? I'm not too sure. Is Julio capable of this? We quickly find out that he's not, but we'll get to that a wee bit later on. And I think this is planting the seeds for Trey to be moved into this position, to be perfectly honest. Tommy did offer to go, but then Julio shut him down. We then see inside this big guy just comes over to Ghost and takes a bit of his fucking bread. Then we see a guy watching from afar, and I just assumed this was going to be Tommy's dad, but we'll get that a wee bit later on. Then in truth, we're beginning to see how they essentially money launder, I guess you could say, get the profits up, because when someone offers for 2 bottles of champagne, they only give them 1. My God, and that is how the money goes up, guys. That is absolutely how the money goes up. And we just see a montage of Dre watching this. We then see Proctor outside getting an interview on the TV. And he's saying the whole reason they're going after James St. Patrick is because of racism. Then we get a funny scene where no one in this room is even white. And then Sachs is like, "I'm white." He's like, "But how about we use you, the black guy?" I thought that was a really funny scene. You know what? I'm honestly shocked going into season 4, we still have so much involvement from the police. I actually assumed after season 1 of this show, the likes of Sachs, Greg's, the top man, and a few other people, they just wouldn't be getting used, but I'm glad they are getting used. Later down in the line, Tasha then drops Tariq and co off at school, and the reporters there filming him, and then she essentially grabs the camera of the reporter, the journalist, the paparazzi, whatever you want to call them, smashes his camera. Tariq gets out, he's like, "So is that what you want me to do, Cam?" Obviously making fun of his mum. He walks in, then a couple of kids come up and is like, "Here, see the gun you brought into school? Was that the gun your dad used to kill that cop?" And he's like, "Yeah, and what if it was?" And they all brick it and run away, which I thought was kind of funny. Then Tommy's dad, at this point we don't know it's Tommy's dad, but it is Tommy's dad. His wife visits him in jail. She's like, "Yep, not looking good. Not the 18 months they thought it would be. I've got 12 months to live." So looks like he's been pressured into making this deal. And then we get the Julio confronting the guys that want to jump ship. Gets into a bit of a brawl here, but Julio backs down and actually offers the guy more territory, which I'm just sitting here thinking, that's incredibly, incredibly shite, to be honest. And then when we get to the scene, they're looking in truth, and they actually find a gun, but of course it's been planted. It's been planted, damn it, by the top man. The top man planted it. He's covering his tracks. He's trying to make it look like Ghost is absolutely set up here. And guys, it's not looking good for Ghost, because when we take it to court, damn it, he's getting the lethal injection. He's going to be getting the absolute death sentence. Not good for him. Tommy, during all this shite, he confronts a few members of the crew, and they're like, well, guess what, big man? Julio bottled it. And then, which we think Tommy is then going to confront Julio, but then he confronts Kesha, and it turns out these two are now in a relationship, and it makes a bit of sense now why he kept her alive, but he finds out from her about Sean, and that Tasha was banging Sean, and Ghost knew about it, and he's like, damn, that is weird, but things are not looking good here for Ghost. Proctor does tell Tommy that if Ghost goes down, then he's probably going to go down. And then the guy that threw a couple of punches on Tommy's crew earlier gets into his car, and then Tommy like chases him and runs him over, breaks his leg. I think this guy's probably going to die. It's not mentioned yet, but it looks like he's going to die of blood loss. And it's funny because Proctor told Tommy to have a low profile, and here he is running this guy over in Queens, broad daylight, man, breaking the guy's leg. I thought this was it was a funny scene, but not looking good, to say the least. Tommy's mum then pulls up and just fucking he gives her the car, the keys to his car, and she just drives off. Absolutely mental about what is going on there. For Tommy, damn it, he gets the new car, the new whip, Ghost's whip, so to speak. And then Proctor and Ghost, I remember we sit down, and then his Ghost is like led back to his cell. The officer who's had it in for him because he's a cop killer tells him about how brutal the lethal injection is and the electric chair is, and that sometimes people don't die like 45 minutes after. They're sitting there twitching. Angela then is confronted by Tasha, and she's like, well, you know what? Fuck you. Tasha's like, if you weren't a cop, you'd what, Tasha? You'd what? So is this beef going to reach boiling point? Is Angela going to die soon? Who fucking knows? Kenan then confronts Dre at the shop. Says the only reason you're alive is because I'm fucking making you keep alive, brother. Then we get the final scene of the episode, a touching scene here between Tommy and Ghost. Ghost tells Tommy that the only thing I want from you, Tommy, is to look after my family because things aren't looking good. They're giving me the needle. They're killing me, man. They're giving me the death sentence. And you know what? I really do feel sorry for Ghost, but I mean, he's got the family, has been set up for this, but it was idiotic for the guy, man. Like, Tommy, his wife, loads of people warned about this relationship with Angela, and it's kind of his own fault that it's actually spiraled out of control to this level for me. But anyway, guys, that is it for Power. Leave your thoughts down below, and until next time, I'll give this episode a 7 out of 10.